Good evening and welcome to Electronic Game Information and our quarantined lockdown version of the show that we are doing from our remote Electronic Game Information headquarters from beautiful Northeast Los Angeles, California. We have a wonderful show for you tonight. Lots of unexpected things will happen. I won't tell you what those things are because obviously if you want it to be unexpected, it must happen. You want to make sure that you got to keep the surprises. You have to keep the variety. You have to get it right. So we're going to get right into the news, and then hopefully by the end of all of this, we will have surprised you and tickled you and entertained you in only the way that Electronic Game Information can do the things that I've just listed. And now the news. Of course, the big news of tonight is the big news that has been coursing through the games and media industry for the last 24 hours, and that is the announcement of the Quebec. If you can see that, the Quebec 16th anniversary sale up on the Nintendo eShop right now. Quebec is of course the makers of such wonderful games that are budget titles, budget games that pack in the fun, pack in the value at a low price that everyone can enjoy. So this Quebec the Quebec 16%, its 16th anniversary with prices marked down 72, 82, 88, 92, 94, 95%. Wonderful sale on such games as Geki Yaba Runner Anniversary Edition. So if you're looking for ways to enjoy the Geki Runner anniversary on the 16th anniversary of Quebec, you pay 99. You can pay 99 cents. So this is the rules. There's a rule that you have to follow to enjoy the Quebec 16th anniversary sale the way that it is meant to be experienced, and that is to first buy Geki Yaba Anniversary Edition or Robonauts. Robonauts is Geki. It's 99 cents. It's on the Nintendo eShop. It's wonderful free runner. It's one of those runner games where you just run and jump. There's one button, and it is not to run. You're automatically running, so you must jump. You must get over the obstacles, and you must get to the end of Geki Yaba Anniversary Edition. Robonauts is, of course, a sort of shooter, sort of platformer kind of game where you run across the edges of curves. You jump from planet to planet. It's got a wonderful physics engine. It's 99 cents. And once you buy one of these two games, or both of these games, they end up giving you the unlock. They unlock all these other wonderful Quebec deals. And these Quebec deals are like I said, before 75, 87, 88, 92, 94, 95. Low prices on wonderful games like Akane. Akane, of course, is the cyberpunk action slash-em-up game that all takes place in a single alleyway in beautiful downtown Mega Tokyo, a fictional version of that classic incredible city Tokyo, but with a twist, because you are the titular character who is trapped in a situation where you are forced to fend off multiple waves of enemies, multiple waves of energies, and they keep coming at you and they keep getting larger, and you don't get any smaller, but they continue. The difficulty ramps up, and as you meet certain parameters, you get to unlock powers, weapons, additions to your character that allow you to progress further through the mean streets of this classic city, Mega Tokyo. And if you're a fan of the Fear Effect series, if you're a fan of the Fear Effect 2 on PlayStation, you might want to check out Akane, an incredible cigarette-smoking woman who with a sword, and she lives only for one thing, which is to survive in the mean streets of a crazy place. It's a crazy place. It's only 49 cents once you buy Geki Yaba Runner Anniversary Edition or Robonauts at the Quebec 16th anniversary sale. Another wonderful game up here on the 16th anniversary sale is Mini Trains. Mini Trains is, of course, the mini trains that you might remember from your PSVR or regular VR. It was a VR game, and now it's on the Nintendo Switch, on the Nintendo eShop. It's 49 cents. 49 cents markdown. That's a 92% price markdown from its original price. I can't really tell what kind of game this is. It seems to be some sort of it's not like Conduct Together, which a game that I got for 1 penny. 1 penny, incredible sale on Conduct Together, a wonderful sort of experiment of puzzle platforming plus and you make sure the trains don't crash. And that was 1 cent, and this is 49 cents, but it used to be a VR game. One Strike is, of course, 90% off, 49 cents. Once you get that discount you get the extra discount from buying either Geki Yaba Anniversary Edition or Robonauts. And this is, of course, a hack and slash. It's a slash 'em up fighting game with one-hit kills, much like the game Bushido Blade, if you're a big fan of Bushido Blade, or Kengo, or other Genki games. Of course, Genki, the people behind Super Magnetic Neo on the Sega Dreamcast, or the Kengo series on the PlayStation 2. The pixel art isn't great, but the action can't be beat, and it's only 49 cents. If you're willing to spend a little bit more money, if you're looking for a premium title after buying Geki Yaba Runner or Robonauts for 99 cents, well, guess what? Warlocks 2 Godslayers is 99 cents. That is a incredible markdown of about 94%. 94%. It's an action RPG with Metroidvania structured levels, action game. If you want to level up your characters or choose multiple characters, beautiful pixel art. It's 99 cents, which is a premium price when you're talking about the Quebec 16th anniversary sale. So stock up now on Quebec games. These are games that offer a great value in terms of gameplay, but without breaking the bank. And I've been adding these, as you can see here. This is of course the wonderful spreadsheet that I have made, where I track the games that I have, how much I paid for them, and also for how long I've played them. So of course we always try there's that far off goal, that incredible goal off there in the distance, to make each dollar spent per gameplay hour 1. So 1 for 1 hour for $1. So if you take a game like, say, Geki Yaba Anniversary Edition, which I bought for 99 cents. Well, I didn't actually buy it for 99 cents because if you remember back in December, Quebec was giving out free games from its very extensive catalog of eShop games. So Geki Yaba Anniversary Edition and Robonauts were both free. So I actually have not spent any money on those games, nor have I played any of those games. So the point is that once I actually, so it's almost as if the numbers are coming down for me. So, a game like, say, Luigi's Mansion, which you spend probably between 20 and 30 hours playing, even though you spent $50 on it, that's more than $1 per hour of gameplay. So if you buy something like Geki Yaba Anniversary Edition for $0, if you get it for free and you spend 3 hours, well, you do the math and it all makes sense. So as you can see here, I've added a number of these Quebec games to the spreadsheet. These are real scans. These are real digital copies of the spreadsheet with the actual names of the games, with the actual prices, with the actual hours spent. So it's an incredible spreadsheet, highly recommended. And this is an incredible deal. It's supposed to last the entire month. It's supposed to last for a month. So not the entire month of April, but not the entire month of May, but somewhere in between those 2 months are 30 days where you can get incredible deals of 75, 87, 88, 92, 94, 95% off these wonderful value. This great value is still out there. It's still happening. One last news is that, of course, it is the 22nd anniversary of Panzer Dragoon Saga on the Sega Saturn. So everyone, please close your eyes after the show and just think about Azel. Think about all the wonderful dragons that you can use in the game. You can upgrade. You can spend time with. You can pet the dragon. It's 4 discs long. It's a wonderful value at close to $400 or $500 for an unopened copy of Panzer Dragoon Saga. So that was the news, and so happy to join you tonight, and so happy to introduce our very special correspondent, fan of the show, Alan Resnick. Alan, how are you doing tonight?
Hey, Robbie, I can hear you, and I'm so happy to be on EGI. I'm doing much better. I've been swallowing. The feelings in my hand has come back, and I've been going to the bathroom totally normal now, and I have been feeling a lot better. There's still loss.
Let's catch people up to speed. And the last time we talked, Alan, you were coming down from a pretty crazy trip through the wonderful world of City 17 of Half-Life Alyx, the VR game.
Right. Yes. Half-Life Alyx is a VR game. It's a virtual world, but you wouldn't know it by the news you've been hearing about it or experiencing it. I thought for a long time it was fully real because of all the experiences and fulfilling experiences and life-fulfilling experiences I had there, and I never wanted to leave. And it was so hard to get the headset off my eyes.
Right.
Like I feel like I actually had to smash the goggles on what apparently was a table, but I thought it was a garbage can in City 17, but it was actually my real table. But that was a confusing experience.
Alan, these incredible games that you're talking about, this incredible experience that you just have, what I'm guessing is that you spent almost a premium full $60 on Half-Life Alyx, unless I'm mistaken. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something, Alan. That wasn't smart, because if you had spent that $60 at the Quebec 16th anniversary sale on the Nintendo eShop for $2, you would get unlimited access, but except for the unlimited access to a limited library of Quebec. Great value, lots of games, all different types of genres, from your platformer to your RPGs to your just a digital version of a puzzle. It's a digital version of a puzzle, like puzzle pieces. So that was your fault for spending way too much on a game that made you sick, and when you could have been spending 49 cents on wonderful One Strike, the samurai action game, fighting game that requires you to take your time and make sure you make every single second count.
Yes, absolutely. You are totally right. I even though it was the most fulfilling experience of my life, I should have spent the money on games like Quebec instead. So back to you,
Geki Yaba Anniversary Edition.
Yes, or Gekiyama Anniversary.
Gekiyama Anniversary Edition.
That's what I said. Back to you, Robbie.
Back to you, Alan. And of course, we understand that you do have a sort of a different kind of. We're taking things a little differently here tonight. We're going to be doing a brand new segment with Alan Resnick, special correspondent, friend of the show, Alan Resnick. Alan, tell us about what you're about to do.
This is a new segment. I believe it's called My Alan Personal History: Video Games. Is that correct? My Alan, personal history.
Absolutely. So what you're about to do, Alan, this is a deep dive. This is a personal history. This is analysis. It's reflection. It's memory. It's everything. It's all of the above.
That's right. And I don't want to be doing the report because it is very painful. But I will be doing it for the good EGI and for Robbie. So should I do it?
Yes, Alan. Absolutely. We're so excited that you're going to be doing a brand new segment. This is a new episode of Electronic Game Information, a brand new segment. We are bringing you content that you won't see anywhere else. Take it away, Alan.
It's a blessing to be here.
It's a blessing to be here with you, Alan, and it's a blessing to be able to remind you next time to spend less money for more gameplay.
Yes. Okay, so my Alan, personal history, video games, a special report by special correspondent me, Alan Resnick. Hold on, I gotta show you. Hold on. By special correspondent, I took a screenshot. By special correspondent, me, Alan Resnick. You can't hear it, but I'm yelling. When people look at me, Alan, and they think, wow, what a cool guy. What an awesome guy. What a wonderful life. He must know so much about video games because he's on the most popular video game show of all time, Electronic Game Information, and he's friends with the #1 world expert on video games, Robby Rackleff. So yeah, this guy probably knows a lot about video games, right? What a life. I wish I was him. People say that to me all the time. Well, the sad, sick truth is my Alan personal history video games is far from glamorous. Growing up, I didn't have every fancy video game or console money could buy. The truth is, and it pains me to admit this, My parents never allowed me to own a video game console, and this is my first time admitting this to Robby.
Absolutely, Alan. This is an EGR exclusive. Alan's parents, of course, bad parents. Unfortunate that such a wonderful person could come from such a rotten home.
And Robby's parents got divorced, and my parents stayed together, and so I think this is showing you the cost of that love. Is I didn't get to have a video game console.
Of course. Yeah, of course, we know that when divorce happens, it might tear the family apart, but it also is better for the adults, and by extension, the children who are receiving of the shame
and the video game
gifts
console.
Of shame.
Yes. I begged them, but my father said that video game consoles were forbidden in our house, that they were trash and a waste of money. And I would go to have sleepovers at my friend's house, and their parents let them have all the latest and greatest video game consoles, from the Genesis to the 64. And they would spend hours playing wrestling games like WWF Warzone. But there were never enough controllers for Alan. And when I asked if I could play the fun games, they would try out their wrestling moves on me. Every day I would awaken in a console-free house, trapped in a void of unfulfilled potential. This is scary stuff. One day I came home from school, and I heard the most beautiful sounds coming from my brother's room, beeps and boops, and I knew what had happened, and I screamed out loud, "We got a Nintendo! We got a Nintendo!" And I ran into my brother's room, and he said, "No, we didn't get a Nintendo." He was listening to the Philip Glass discography that he bought. The years went on. I began to accept that I would never own a video game console of my own. This is a sad story. Eventually, I stopped asking my parents, and I just settled for stolen moments on my father's computer in the computer room, where I'd play a few minutes of The Seventh Guest.
The Seventh Guest, Alan, of course, the multiple disc series that was followed up by the 11th Hour.
11th Hour.
Wonderful series of adventure FMV games. I think a type of game that you don't really get to see much anymore of, do you? I mean, they do re-release some of these games on the Nintendo eShop. You got, of course, your Night Trap.
Yes, these are scary games, but I would not choose to play The Seventh Guest or the 11th Hour again, because for me they are triggering. I moved out and I went to college, and I always dreamed of purchasing my own video game console, but I couldn't because of the high cost of these consoles. Many, many years went by, and I decided it was time to visit home, even though I was still mad at them about the consoles. And I saw a strange white box under my dad's TV. I said, "Dad, what is that? What is that?" And I opened the little gate. He had one of those, things under the TV. It was gated, but you could open it. I saw the little box. I said, "What is that?" And it was a Nintendo Wii.
Oh.
So I said, "Why do you have, are you borrowing? Is this," maybe I thought it was a surprise gift for me, maybe an apology. Turns out my dad bought a Nintendo Wii for himself. And I asked why, because my dad is not a gamer by trade. And he said, "I want to try to play tennis at home." And I asked him, "Well, have you been playing tennis?" He said he did once, and he didn't like it, and he wasn't going to do it again. So I said, "Can I take the Wii? Maybe I could take the Wii home. It'd be my Wii." And he said no, because he didn't know maybe there would be a reason for him to keep it in the future. And this was very hard for me. And it's sad. It pains me to admit that I haven't had video game consoles. And the first video game console I ever got was a Wii U, and that was very recently. And that was not the best console. Back to you, Rob.
Back to you, Alan. And of course, the great thing about the Wii U is, of course, it is backwards compatible with all of those wonderful Wii games that it sounds like your father, the rotten character that he must be, to not be taking advantage of that incredible multifaceted console. I mean, people say that the Wii was this kind of they say it was for little kids, it was for old people, and that was not the case at all. It had its casual game library for absolutely sure, but honestly, if you really take a hard look, and not even that hard of a look, if you just take a look, a long enough look where you can actually see things, where things come into focus, you will see that the Wii had an incredible library of games, not just games like Super Mario Galaxy and Pandora's Tower and Xenoblade Chronicles by the wonderful people over at Monolith Soft, which are different than the people at Monolith Productions who made First Encounter Assault Recon. Alan.
Right, but the Wii U had Very short lifespan, and it had all sorts of
But in that lifespan,
cables
what an
and
incredible library of games that we got from a Super Mario 3D World. Of course, one of the games at the top of the heap. Of course, you get the remake of The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, and you also get wonderful Xenoblade Chronicles X,
But I bought
which of
Breath of
course
the
is
Wild.
the
I bought Breath of the Wild for the Wii U, and then a minute later the Switch came out, and I didn't want to buy it twice.
Well, you got to buy it twice. I mean, that's the kind of key with these kinds of things, is that you always have to buy the game more than once. If it's a good game, you have to buy it more than once. When Skyward Sword eventually comes out on Nintendo Switch, which I did buy on day one, and got the gold case for Skyward Sword, I will be buying a remastered, remake, 1080p version of Skyward Sword stored on the Nintendo Switch. I'll be flying in the skies with all of my friends, with the Hairman and the Big Bird, and visiting some of the greatest dungeons seen in a Nintendo Legend of Zelda game.
You're sending me mixed messages about how I should be spending my money and how much I should spend for premium games.
You want to
Back
spend
to you,
at
Robby.
least. You want to spend between 30. You want to spend between 50 cents and $30.
Okay.
All right.
Can I do
So
good?
back to you, Alan. I was wondering if you've, in this time that we've been here online on Electronic Game Information, if you had time to visit the Nintendo Switch eShop and take a look at that Quebec 16th anniversary sale.
Not since the show started. In the beginning of the show, the first I'd heard about the Quebec.
Now it could be Quebec. Well, if you want to save some money, Alan, I suggest you head over there and maybe you find something that you really like for a couple quarters, the same amount of money that you put into the where you when you park the car on the street and it's a curb, and then there's like a box. It's like a little man, but with no arms or legs. He stands on the curb and he takes your quarters.
Robby, I'm gonna come over to your house and spend time with you.
Unfortunately, Alan, that is not allowed. We are still under lockdown. We are still under quarantine. It's still a terrifying and frightening time, and that is why we are going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we will be dispelling this terrifying and frightening time with some deep analysis of Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. So let's take a break, and we'll see you right after.
My God, it looks like a war zone.
And we're back with Electronic Game Information's. We are back with Electronic Game Information's official deep analysis, this ongoing, this living analysis, this living reporting of Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. Alan, are you excited that we're back in the world of the Feylands, or what?
Yes, there's definitely a highlight of my entire life. Just see these little snippets of Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. At first, I didn't think it was good, but now I'm on board.
It's a huge world. It's a big world. It's got plenty of stuff going on, lots of action, lots of lore, lots of fantasy. But Alan, I want you to take a quick look at what's happening here. We've got these wonderful birds. We've got these wonderful. I don't know. I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of the various fauna within Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, so I can only assume that these are pangolins, Alan.
Okay.
So if you think about what the situation that we're now in, and you think about everything that's gone on since the January of this same year, pangolins had a lot to do with it. Pangolins.
Yeah, pangolins have definitely been in the news a lot more than normal.
So this could be, and this is not 100%. I'm not 100% clear if these are pangolins or not, but here they are. This could be a thing. This could be an EGI exclusive. A lot of people here in the United States of America don't get to see a lot of pangolins, so this could be their first ever seeing of a pangolin.
Are the pangolins enemies?
They're not necessarily enemies. These seem friendly to me. They're not attacking me. They're not like the bears. They're not like the boogers, or the green little men that fly around and find you in the woods. So let's just take a quick look at these wonderful water effects. This is, of course, this is a custom engine. This is a engine that you have not seen before. You haven't seen it since. A custom water engine for Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. We can swim a little bit faster, but we can't dive. So that's a pretty important thing to know, that if you're going to be trying to explore the various waterways in this wonderful big world, you can only do so at the surface level, which is kind of, if you think about it, that's sort of you dive, if you're a regular person like you or I, Alan, you find yourself by a swimming pool or a deep body of water, you want to, of course, go in it, and you want to go as far down to the very bottom of it and see how long you could stay there.
I don't do that when I go swimming. I do stay on the surface like the Kingdoms of Amalur character.
But you must admit that the danger is there, Alan.
There's a great mystery to what's below the water, and I do like to engage in questions of internal questions of the mind of what might be under the water, under my feet.
The bottom of the ocean is the subconscious of the planet, is what some people might say.
Yes, I would say that the what did you say?
The ocean, the floor of the ocean. The floor of the ocean is, of course, the bottom of the floor of the ocean is the subconscious, not the context, because the context is outer space.
Right. The bottom of the ocean is the subconscious of the
planet. So
and
here we are. We're going to get to a bit of a scrap here, and we've been here before, and with the sprites, various enemies that we always hate to see out here, tormenting the various humanoid beings inside of this magical, very incredible world. And unfortunately, there are too many of them, and I have passed on. So that's our EGI's coverage of Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning for this evening. And we are going to go to our next surprise. Alan, are you ready for this? I want you to get yourself ready, because we have a very special guest who is about to join us here on Electronic Game Information. Please give a wonderful round of applause, EGI round of applause to Patti Harrison. Patti Harrison, welcome to the show. So happy to hear you, see you, hear you, be here with you in these troubled times.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great. You're coming through great. Patti, you're such an incredible, talented, you're a genius. You're a comedic genius. You're a performing genius. You're a musician. You're an artist. You're a writer. You've got it all. I mean, what's the secret? What are we missing here? What have we not gotten right in our lives that we cannot ascend to the high plains of we can't get us. We can't. I want to figure out how you got to. You are where you are. I want to be there for a minute, because I don't know. Because I do really like what I have, I have a lot of blessings. I have a lot of fun. We've got the cat. We've got the outdoors. We've got the great outdoors. There's so much to love in the world.
I've worked really hard to get everything that I have, and I followed my joy.
Follow the joy.
Yeah, and I know that sounds really cliche to say, but I worked really hard, and I deserve. I think there's a weird thing that happens where people feel like they aren't allowed to say that they have to be humble, and I think I deserve almost everything that I have.
Well,
I worked really hard.
This is an EDR exclusive. I mean, this no one else talks about the places that they've been, the places that they've gotten to quite like you. And I do think that you deserve everything. And mostly why I wanted to ask you here, Patti, is I wanted to just show Alan somebody who's kind of gotten to a place because they've dedicated themselves, because they've put in the effort. I also don't need that, but Alan definitely does.
Alan hasn't done that.
I would offer no disrespect to special guest Patti, and I do think good for you. You are a very talented person who has worked hard, but I would also just like to say that, and no disrespect to you, but my life has been deeply, deeply fulfilling ever since I've met Robby and got to be with Robby, and so I regret nothing. I am very happy with my lot in life. And I do have a quick question for Patti, and how cool is it to talk to Robby?
I'm having a great time so far. I really think it's nice.
Alan, thank you so much for your question, and big fan of the show. Alan Resnick, thank you always for being here and supporting the show and supporting the program in all the ways that you can. Patti, I have heard from down the grapevine, and I won't say what kind of vine it is, but I've heard that you have been spending some time, as we've all been locked down at home here in beautiful Los Angeles, California, that you also have been playing some video games in your spare time.
I have. Being in quarantine is a really stressful time for a lot of people, and I've just been trying to make the best of it. So I've been playing my PlayStation. I have a PlayStation 4.
Me too. Now I do.
Playing that.
Alan, let her finish.
You do?
Yes.
Is there any way to get his square off or move it to yours?
I actually want to offer an opinion that maybe I could switch squares with Patti.
Okay, yeah. So this is EGI exclusive that we can't do that because it's the pre-programmed kind of. It's a program that is pre-made for the show, for EGI exclusive show, and can't be manipulated on the fly.
What's all that's doing? What is all that stuff that just happened?
That's a glitch. That's a glitch in the system. All of these programs, everybody on the internet, it's a crazy time. Glitches are happening. The roofs of the digital. I think the virtual, and the artificial. The world of code is straining in these times because everybody wants to watch the movies, everybody wants to be online with their friends playing games, looking at other people playing games, or playing games themselves. Maybe they're downloading wonderful games by Quibic, now on sale on the Nintendo eShop for as little as 49 cents. I mean, Patti, what's the... I mean, when you see a game like Gekiyaba Anniversary Edition for 49 cents, is there a switch that happens in your head, a kind of a leakage? Is there kind of a rush of that's what I'm looking for? Is it like being in a dream where you walk into a video game store and all the games that you want are on sale, but in this case they're Quibic games, and maybe you don't know which ones they are, what they are, how they play, but you're willing to take the chance?
I don't really know. I'm not super familiar with that game. I don't know what Quibic is. Quibic, sorry. But I think I watched you talking about it a little bit. It seemed like an interesting game. It's not really the kind of game that I like to play. Well, I don't know. You were talking. You asked like a. Did I answer your question?
Several questions in the form of a statement, which can throw people off, and I understand that. But I would like to know. So you've been playing your PlayStation 4. What games have you been playing on that particular platform?
So I played a couple of games while we've been in quarantine. I just beat one of the campaigns. I beat both campaigns for Resident Evil 2, and then I just finished playing Resident Evil 3 before that. And then on the side I'm playing Just Cause 4.
Just Cause 4. So good.
Yeah.
So Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, very popular games, games that are very much in the cultural consciousness at this moment. So let's kind of push them off to the side for a moment. Let's talk about your Just Cause 4.
Okay.
What have you been doing? I mean, what's drawn you to that particular game?
I think something that I really like about the game is that you can what happened?
What do you mean?
Something happened with like the Skype and it interrupted my answer.
I'm back.
Wait, we have not stopped talking about Just Cause 4, Patty. We're looking for that insight. We're looking for that brain of yours to really kind of kick the ball of analysis down the field towards electronic game information, which is always waiting for you at the other end of the field.
That, but I got interrupted.
There's no interruption.
I got interrupted.
Alan, why are you? Is there an issue? Are we having an issue with Alan Resnick, the special correspondent? Alan Resnick, friend of the show, he's interrupting Patty Harrison, special guest. Do you ever get hair in your mouth?
Do I? Or Alan?
Patty, I wanted to know about Just Cause.
Yeah, this is cringe.
Just Cause.
All right, it is cringe. What?
I can't hear anybody, but I just want you to know that it's cool that you're playing Just Cause.
Thank you.
Patty, what do you like to do? What draws you to a game like Just Cause? Is it the action? Is it the vehicles? Is it the character, the story, the character? What is it?
So what's really cool, I think, is that it's an open world game, and I think the original title Just Cause for Xbox 360 when I was in college, and I really liked that it was pretty. You could like basically fly. It just felt really like there was a lot. It was like the perfect action movie in a game, and Just Cause 4 is kind of similar. It seems like structurally they've kept a lot of that, which is really nice. And you can like tie people to the backs of cars as the cars drive away. You can tie animals to the backs of cars as the cars drive away, and the cars will drag the animals away. You can there's boars in the game. There's like little javelinas. The game, I think, is about like a revolution that's happening in a tropical place. But so there's like capybaras and stuff, and you can take a capybara. And when I say tie, you get like this steel cord, and it can kind of stick into. It has barbs at the end that's like it's your grappling hook, and it hooks into stuff. So you can like shoot it into like a capybara. And capybara, I don't know how to say it.
Capybara.
And capybara, is that it? Did I say
capybara? Capybara. I'm back on.
Capybara Games, a wonderful game development student. Capybara Games is responsible for some of the modern classics. I think you'll find.
That's a lot.
Patty, if I'll interrupt you for a second there, you were talking about the people making Just Cause 4, the people behind the game series Just Cause, Avalanche Studios. Have you been playing any of their? You're saying you're a big fan of these open world action games. Have you played any other Avalanche Studio games?
Can you name?
And please just take as long as you want to respond.
Can you name? Like what other games? I'm sorry, I'm not super familiar with the studio. I don't know.
Mad Max, Rage 2, Just Cause 3.
I played the first Just Cause. I said that in my answer.
I don't think Avalanche Studios made that. I think it was Square Enix. Alan, you're the Just Cause expert. Who was it?
It was Avalanche Studio, or maybe it was Square Enix. Back to you, Robby.
Wait, I think it's Just Cause 4. It says Square Enix. Is it both?
Well, I believe that they're the publishers. There's a difference between the publishers and the developers, Patty.
This is hard. Can I ask Patty a question?
Alan, what were you eating earlier?
I was eating unleavened bread balls that I made.
What is that?
I eat during the quarantine, I've been eating a lot of unleavened bread, and the crumbs have fallen to the floor. And I've said, there's no reason to waste these. So I gathered up all the unleavened bread crumbs, and I squished them into a ball, which I boiled in water, and I made delicious unleavened bread ball soup. It's very good. Thank you. Back to you, Patti.
Back to you, Alan. And so happy. It's so
That
incredible.
really gross.
That sounds. It's
just bread. It's just bread without the yeast. It's
just bread without the yeast, mashed up into little balls. Alan's desperately trying to hang on because Alan had a pretty rough weekend. Last weekend. Was it last weekend, Alan, that you had?
I can't remember. Weekend? It was for me. It was a lifetime ago. But I have a quick question for Patti because you know LA very well. And I just have a question about the Mayor Garcetti's stay-at-home orders. He lifted those and said that I could go visit Robby, and I will be doing that. Correct?
Alan, I have to. I think that Eric Garcetti announced today that he was doing some sort of.
Robby, this is a question for Patti.
Right.
I don't know.
Go ahead and take as long as you want to answer the question, Patti, because I found out. I think I figured out how this game really works. So I'm going to just kind of wander around a little bit, explore. Please enjoy the scenery. Take it away, Patti.
I didn't hear anything about Mayor Garcetti saying something like that. I don't know if he would lift the orders for two people. I don't think that
special circumstances. I heard
Patti, if I could just interrupt you for a second here. I've seemed to have run into a character that won't let me ignore him. His name is Grim Onwig, and his star camp is Home of the Travelers. What am I supposed to do here? I mean, we brought you in because you have these experiences with these big open world games, and I really want to get out of here, get back to fighting the sprites, finding the bears. What's next?
I think if it's prompting you to ask if you're interested in what he's offering, or if you're not interested, you should say, I'm not interested, so that you can continue to do what you were doing before you ran into that character and it triggered some
I think I tried to say the what you just said. Something else is happening because he's still talking. So I'm going to keep talking about something that it's been troubling me ever since you started talking, Patti, and that is the fact that you have played both the Resident Evil 2 and the Resident Evil 3. I find that there's a difference between the two, isn't there?
There is. They're different games. But there's stuff that's similar. One's a sequel to the other game. They're both sequels to the first game.
Now, I'm thinking about writing a play based on the fourth game in the series. Should I do that?
A play?
Yes. Basically just taking the ways that this is how it works is that you find a script somewheres, and a lot of good people out there are trying to take the script. They have the script online is what I'm trying to say.
No more.
But I want to put my own spin on it because I think there's something to say with using the game as a platform to take the message of the game to a new.
Robby, can I say something? I just as a fan of that franchise, I didn't think the story is of those games is super strong, and I don't think already to begin with. And then I don't think that you would write something that would I just don't think there's an audience for it, and I don't think it would be worth your time.
Yes, Patti is right, Robby. No more plays.
Well, but they say that theater is life, and I don't know about you, Patti, but I'm ready to live again. I'm sick and tired of waiting around for people to tell me that I can do something or I can't do something, and I feel like the Resident Evil 4 play could be a way to escape. Don't you think?
I don't think it would be good.
I mean, you're the writer.
I just don't think. I don't think it would be good. I don't think if you made it, it would be good. I think it would be really embarrassing. I think it would be cringe.
Right. Two. If you think about those wonderful two, we can have it. We think about the special edition. Could be on the
special edition of the play.
The special edition of the play. We could put it on the two of those little GameCube discs, just like the original Resident Evil 4.
You mean the script would be on a disc?
Well, I think it would be a compilation of things, wouldn't it? It would be one of the game. You have to have that, otherwise you get sued. Second, you get the script PDF split into two parts over the two discs, and then maybe a recording or maybe just some music. Patti, I understand that you're also a musician. Would you sing for us?
No.
All right. Well, that was
EGI's that would embarrass me a lot.
Special correspondent Alan Patti Harrison. Thank you so much for your time, spending your time with us during this difficult time. Patti, I want to ask you one quick favor. Would you stick around a little bit for the segment that comes up after the next video break, which is called The List?
You don't have to. It's optional.
Yeah, I would do it.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to take a quick break and look at the video, the wonderful It's the Arts video clip that we did not get to watch last episode for technical reasons because Alan wasn't doing too well. So we are going to be doing very well, very, very well after watching these wonderful images that you have sent in to Electronic Game Information, to our email address, to our Twitter account, Twitter, Instagram, to the places that where we can find them and put them into an animated form. Go ahead and roll the clip, and when we come right back, Patti Harrison is going to, this is an EGI exclusive, Patti Harrison is going to be joining us for The List here on Electronic Game for Me. And we are back with The List with EGI special correspondent Patti Harrison and Sick Allen. So, Patti Harrison, you have been on the show before. You've seen The List before. We're so excited because we knew you were going to be here. So the list is going to be now. It was made for. This list is made for you, Patti.
Oh wow.
So I'm going to dive right into this thing because I've been so excited to share this with you because this is the list tonight is, of course, open world action games that are there's a distinction, of course, because if you go too far with the open world action games in a certain direction, you end up with sort of cinematic open world action games like Grand Theft Auto 4 or your LA Noire, and that's not on the list. So we want to sort of stick with the sort of action-based open world action games like Just Cause 2, 3, 4, maybe the first one, 2. You're the Just Cause expert, so we'll leave that up with you. So we're going to dive right into this thing. So first up on the list is Mercenaries Playground of Destruction. Mercenaries Playground of Destruction is, of course, one of the original open world action games that gave you a huge playground of machines and vehicles and destructible environments to let you go crazy and go nuts. It was developed by the good people over at the now defunct Pandemic Studios, which was bought by EA and then dissolved. Alan, you're the Pandemic expert. What's going on?
You want me to talk about the current pandemic state that we
No, the mercenary. I want to talk about Mercenaries Playground Destruction. What are people saying in the chat?
They say fart for me says yep, or no, Jimbone79 says fart for me yep.
So, Patty, you've played Mercenary. Of course, you've been playing Mercenaries Playground Destruction since you've been locked down at home. What's your favorite vehicle? Who's your favorite character? The German, I think he's German. He might be South African. I don't really know.
I haven't been playing that game.
Mercenaries 2: World in Flames is on the list. This is the follow-up to the wonderful
X25 says Mercenaries 2 was fantastic.
Mercenaries 2 was fantastic. So that's straight from the Pandemic Studios based chat. This is a chat that has currently been the floor of the topics have changed inside of the chat. So now the base of the chat is the Pandemic Studios, makers of course, Star Wars: The Clone Wars on the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube. And Mercenaries 2: World in Flames. Mercenaries 2: World in Flames, of course, also takes place in an unnamed South or Central American country. Does not include many of the upgrades and the weapons that you experience in the Just Cause series. Needless to say, Just Cause 4's grappling hook, like I think what you described, Patty.
I didn't hear a question.
Patty,
it's weird because I can't tell if there's these pauses that I think you're opening up for me
right.
to say something, but then
that's not what it is.
It doesn't feel like they're full, or
they're not full pauses because it's well, I want you to talk about the list.
This is not, Patty. This is what the list is always like.
So the list is the list. You have to stop and you have to think because you don't know what the list. No one knows what the list is.
Right.
Well, I mean, the list is all these open world action games, but the rules of the list they have to flow. Okay. You have to let the pauses are natural, so you go with them. The brain can't catch up with the words, so you have to just max out.
Okay. Max out.
So talk to us about the grappling hook.
The grappling hook in Just Cause?
Right.
But I don't have to talk about Mercenaries 2?
No, you can talk about whatever. It's the list.
Okay. The grappling hook in Just Cause, I guess Just Cause 4, maybe I assume it's in the whole franchise, because that's like a big, huge integral part of the gameplay. It's really cool. I think they've upgraded it a lot in this new game. I'm not really sure what was in the other sequels because I only played the first game and the fourth game, but it's really fun. You can, grapple onto the back of a car and sling yourself up into the air and then deploy your parachute, and you can float over the town. It's a big open world game.
Patty.
Now, Alan, if I might jump in here for a
Patty,
second, Alan, I was
Spider-Man game on PlayStation 4.
I was playing.
I have the Spider-Man game.
I was playing a game the other. I was playing another.
I have it.
I have it too. I'm gonna go get mine.
I was playing a game the other day that I was a sort of a samurai. I was a knight in medieval Japan, so maybe a samurai, but there could be distinctions there that I'm just not qualified.